You ready for us? Well, super fun to be doing this call with all of you guys, especially since we haven't had a team call in a long, long time. And really fun to be having Jenne here. She is my sweet, sweet friend from Minnesota. She's not in DFG, but in another line. But we market counsel together and have just fallen in love with each other over the last couple of years doing the market counsel together. She, I met her and she was pregnant with her first baby, Ruby. That was 3 years ago. And a year later, she had another one. And less than a year later, she did it again. So she had 3 babies under the age of 3, was a full-time kindergarten mom, in grad school, a wife of a professional baseball player, and built this business at the same time. So she was busy. What?
Hockey.
Oh, a hockey player. I knew he was a hockey player. He's a hockey player. Here's us, Minnesota. He's a professional hockey player and has since retired and gone on to bigger and better things. But, yeah, she was busy, and built this business great. And so when her and I were talking a few weeks ago and she was kind of telling me what she wanted, I'm like, you need to talk to our team. So here she is, Jenne Beaverson. Take it away, girl.
All right. Thanks, you guys, for having me. I love doing this stuff, and your team. I love you guys have awesome leaders on your team, so I'm super stoked to do this tonight for you guys. So here we go. So this topic, you guys, building for income versus rank, is one of my favorite topics to talk about because it has completely changed my life in more ways than one. And Sarah Gobb, we go back to the braces years, but she's my upline, and I had a really hard time. In the beginning, we were looking at this together, and I had a really hard time not going for elite and all these other things because I love recognition and all that stuff, but she centered me and threw me this way, and I'm glad she did. So let's see, I just lost my spot. I'm sorry. Okay, so when we look at or see success in this business, I always thought, gosh, being successful means you have to be at least a 5-star or a 9-star, 10-star, 15-star diamond coach. You guys, you don't have to hold any, those are amazing titles, but success in this business, you don't have to do that. You just have to rock the heck out of a 2-star coach business center, you guys. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So just a little bit about me. Well, Luann already said it. I started coaching 4 years ago while working full-time, kindergarten teacher, for a master's degree, blah, blah, blah. 3 kids in 2.5 years. So Gwen and Ophelia are 369 days apart. Ruby and Ophelia are 15 months apart. So if I can do this, you all can do this. I was working full-time, and I was coaching for 2 years. And I was able to double my income in those first 2 years. So my first year as a coach, well, more than double. First year as a coach, you guys, and people don't like to talk money, but we don't do this for free. This isn't, whatever. So I like to share about this because, Janelle Summers, I love following her and I love listening to her stuff. And she always says, you got to talk about this opportunity because you have something magical and you have to talk about income. So my first year, I made $10,000 doing this. And then my second year, I made a little over 80 grand, you guys, with a 2-star business center. So if I can do it, you can. So Luke and I said, I had Ruby and I cried every day when I had to drop her off at daycare and go teach. And I love teaching. I taught for 8 years, but my heart just wasn't there anymore. So he said, Jen, if you can at least make what you're making in teaching, and then if you can pay off those loans. I had $70,000 in student loan debt. Thank you, Bethel University. But he said if we could pay that off, then I could stay home. So I did. So the first year I was pregnant with Ruby coaching, and then I had Ruby and I had to work for 1 more year and paid it all off. So I had a big why, and it was to stay home with my babies. And I knew in order to do that, I needed to make that income that surpassed that. And again, I love recognition. It's one of my love languages. So not being able to be elite ate me alive. But I had to put rank aside and focus on the smartest way to build to get to that why, and that was income. So here we go. And And I want you to know, you guys, that this topic is going to be individualized for everyone. It's different for everyone, but everyone can do this. So here are a few tips I've learned along the way that I want you guys to just listen to it and soak it all in, and see what might be applicable for your situation. And after, you can ask, I'm just an open book, so you can ask away with questions. And after this, you guys, you should really plan out maybe next week or the week after or whenever, but get on a call with your upline and make a plan that fits you and your income building goals. So I have 4 points tonight. Number 1, you have to look at your volume. Volume is money, you guys. Think of volume as money. So money is volume. When you're building for income, you have to know your volume inside and out. So you should be checking daily in your online office. I'm guilty. I don't check daily. Usually Sunday night and Wednesday night is when I do. But so you should be checking your volume. Remember, volume is money. And selling challenge packs, hitting Success Club, that's a must. You got to hit Success Club to move your business forward. But you guys, don't underestimate Energize, Daily Sunshine, Beach Bars, any of that stuff. You guys, that is all volume, okay? It's more than selling a challenge pack. You have to sell those challenge packs. It's the best bang for your buck. I mean, your goal has to be hitting Success Club. I would say your goal should be Success Club 10, and if you don't hit it, it's okay, but you know that you've hit at least 5 or 6. But you guys, Daily Sunshine, all that stuff, that is volume 2. You also have to know your strong leg and your weak leg, and again, that's different for everyone. And again, some of you I don't know if there's older coach, veterans on here and newer coaches. If I was a new coach, I'd be like, what the hell is she talking about? But don't worry, just soak this stuff in right now, write things down, and then you can ask questions later, okay? So someone may have a really strong leg and someone may have a really weak leg, or you may have similar legs in terms of volume. And this is why this part is so individualized in building for income. So a little recap, when you sign up with whoever you signed up with, you're given, inherited, born with, whatever you want to call it, a strong leg, which is the leg you are of your upline, okay? And sometimes your weak leg ends up taking over your strong leg because you get a baller coach over there or whatever the case is. Just remember this, whatever leg has the highest volume average, that is your strong leg in the case of knowing how to build for income. And you always want to keep in mind where you're placing people. Those are coaches and discount coaches, because you have control of building them based on wherever your strong and weak legs are in order to fully capitalize on the most cycle bonuses. And that's with 2 times the volume on your strong leg than your weak leg. So you always shoot for a 2-1 ratio to fully cycle as many times as possible to avoid a lot of that rollover volume. Some of you, again, are like, what the hell is she talking about? And that's okay. I didn't know any of this till like 6 months into coaching. But if you YouTube Michael Neiman, I didn't understand volume until I watched this video. He does a great little video explaining the 2-to-1 ratio with toy animals. He's hilarious. And after I saw that video, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense, because I'm a visual kind of gal. So if you don't, and I'll send Lindsay, I'll just send her, I have the little link, so I'll send it to her and you guys can have it. I'm sure she has it, but anyways, again, that is where I understood volume from Michael Neiman's toy animal YouTube video. And again, there's many methods to people teaching how to build for income with volume, but this is personally what I aim to do. I always try to get the closest to that 2-1 ratio of volume on my strong and weak leg. Number 2, 2-star diamond, you guys. Rank and income kind of go together to a certain extent, but I really want to talk about getting to 2-star for the purpose of the most audience of people on this call. Whether you're a newer coach or you've been rocking this out for a while, you guys, 2-star, you just have to get to 2-star, because that's where the magic happens. And, I thought, gosh, looking at all these, top coaches, they're always, all these top coaches are always highlighted. And I'm like, oh my God, I can barely get 2 people. How am I supposed to get 15 to be successful? You don't, you guys, you don't. You just need to teach 2 of your gal friends how to do this, so they can teach 2 of their girlfriends, so they can teach 2 or guy friends or whatever. You just have to teach. Luanna and I were talking about this. You just have to teach just, a handful of people how to do this, and you guys, it's just like working out. You're working out for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. You see those results. It just takes time. And when you're building this business, you can't throw out a free group and be like, I threw out a free group, no one jumped in. I threw out a challenge group, post, no one jumped in. You guys, you have to show up every day, the vitals, blah, blah, blah. But you have to be a product of the product. You have to let people trust you. So I always say you have to at least give it a year, at least at a minimum, because you have to let people trust you, because there's so many, different marketing companies out there. And so they see you doing this. Are they going to see you doing essential oils next week, or in a year, are you going to be doing like nail stick-ons or whatever? But because this stuff comes and goes, but for those people that stick it out at least a year, you have to let people trust you. That's one of my big things. Okay. Anyways, 2-star. So it's a very lucrative spot because, again, you guys, once you hit 2-star, you get to open up a second business center. So a second coach business center. And then you get those quarterly bonuses. If you're a 2-star and you hold that for 6 weeks, it ranges anywhere from, I don't know, $700 to like $1,200, depending on what the pot is, every quarter. So that's great as a 2-star. And as a 5-star, you get more. As a 9 and 10, you get more. So 2-star, when I get that bonus, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go redo a bathroom. Anyway, so diamond first and then go to 2-star. So get to emerald first, skip ruby, just go to diamond and then go to 2-star. Don't even think about 1-star, just jump to 2-star. And then reevaluate your goals, you guys, after you hit 2-star. Here's another fun fact. You know how I mentioned you get a second business center when you hit 2-star? Well, that really just means you get to be a coach again in your very own downline. So that's amazing because you're rocking out your business and you just open up another business center that you're rocking and you can control, and you're putting amazing coaches in. So the other amazing part of that is you get to pick where you sign up you again. Now here's where you get to reevaluate where your volume's at. So if you have even legs, you want to look at where your potential diamonds are at and place your second business center on the opposite side of that, because eventually you will be that other diamond. If you have a strong leg that is more than 2-to-1 volume and you really need to build up that weak leg to get the most cycles, then place your second business center under your weak leg. That's the case for most coaches, but you always have to check with your upline. Another fun fact is if you have a spouse account, so I have a spouse account, you can place your second business center, you guys, under their weak leg and still sponsor all those accounts by your first business center. So when you get there, talk to Lindsay, talk to Luna, whoever's your upline, but always make sure you talk to them before you open that up. And then Sarah and I had corporate look at it before I signed that up, where I signed it up, just to make sure it was in the right spot, because you could screw that up real fast for yourself if you don't. So technically I have 3 business centers. I have my first, and then I have my spouse account, and then I have my second CBC under my spouse account. And they're all sponsored, you guys, by my first business center. Again, that can be confusing. So when that happens, when you've hit 2-star and you open up that second CBC, just talk to Lindsay or whoever your upline is and get on a call with corporate and show them what you're going to do. And if you take anything away from this, you guys, 2-star, 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 2-star. That is where the magic happens, because when orders go into your second business center, that trickles up to my husband's, and then that trickles up to my first. So I cycle. And you guys, that just means cash, cash, cash in the bank. So not only am I getting $18 a cycle in my second CBC, but I'm cycling $18 in Luke's account, and I'm cycling $18 in my first account. So it's like you're making 3 times the money for the same exact order, right? So if you choose to build this way, but if you can just stack those business centers, your first to 2-star, get your spouse, and your second CBC, you're gold. Because here's some more fun facts. Number 3, this is going to blow your mind. Number 3, okay, rank versus volume. Now remember those fancy bonuses I mentioned, those quarterly bonuses, those are given at 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star in every business center. you guys. So if your first CVC is 2-star, you get that 2-star bonus. If your spouse's CVC is 2-star, you get that 2-star bonus. If your second CVC or whatever is 2-star, you get that 2-star bonus. So if you have 3 accounts and that quarterly bonus is $900, you get $900 in all 3 of those accounts. So if you're 2-star, I mean, Lindsay's got some crazy stats, so I'm sure she's seen this, but those 10-star bonuses are fabulous. I don't even know how much those are, thousands of dollars. But if she's 10-star in that one and 2-star in this one and 5-star in this one, she gets all of that. It's crazy. It's crazy. But also keep in mind, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So in every business center, you get those bonuses. So the tricky thing about getting distracted from rank versus elite when wanting to build this business is to remember that powerful tip in number 1, volume. Volume is money. So I would always call Sarah and be like, Sarah, I could be elite, but I'm placing people here. And she's like, just stop it, Jenna. You know what you need to do. We've already talked about income is your goal. And I'm like, but I want to go to leadership or whatever. And she'll be like, you're coming with me. So, being elite and getting all those fun things at Summit or being able to do a national wake-up call has been a dream of mine, but I'm like, it's fine. I take the income and being with my kids and having tea parties in the morning and coloring and all that stuff over any of that. So, and then rank just happens along the way too. So, if I go 5-star in one of them, that's great. But here is the money crazy mind blowing. If you are a 2-star diamond coach, it caps out. The comp plan is amazing. Beachbody is incredible. The comp plan maxes out at $4,000 a week, you guys. So as a 2-star diamond coach, you can make $4,000 a week. Now remember your spouse account. Maybe your spouse is also a 2-star diamond coach. That caps out at $4,000 a week. Maybe your second CVC is a 2-star diamond coach. So the income potential is crazy. I make more than my elite coach friends. I laugh at them. You guys, I'm seeing like people popping stuff up, but I'm not looking at that, but I'll look at it after. So success, you guys, means so many things. So you can be a 2-star diamond coach and make $4,000 a week. I mean, that is success in my eyes. And then if you have more business centers, Beachbody is just an amazing company. It blows my mind. So 2-star maxes out at $4,000 a week. So if you're a 3-star, it maxes out at $5,000 a week. If you're a 4-star, it maxes out at $6,000 a week. So not many 5-stars even make $4,000 a week, you guys. So I'm okay with sitting at 2-star until I max out the volume instead of stressing about building for rank and recognition. But providing for my family is my first priority over my ego. But again, that's just me and how I chose to build. So I'm on the leaderboards for volume and the leader ladder every month, but I'm not elite. And I know I'm one of the top earners on our team. And I have many friends that are elite coaches, and I make more than them. So I'm okay with this. Another little fun tip. A lot of founding coaches and corporate mentors will tell you that the most lucrative spot in the comp plan is 9-star diamond, because you literally make bank because of the requirements. So think about this. 10-star, you have to have 5 diamonds on one side and 5 diamonds on the other side. That's a lot of diamonds on a strong leg, especially if you have a power leg of volume. That's essentially wasted volume, you guys, on a strong leg. And wasted volume is wasted money. 9-star, you can sit with 2 diamonds on a strong leg and the rest on your weak leg. Almost all the founding coaches are sitting at 9-star because of that, and they just stack those business centers like we talked about earlier. So I didn't shoot for 5-star because you have to have 3 diamonds on one leg and 2 on the other. But 2-star, you just need 1 on one and 1 on the other. And then you can open up another business center. So you can be a 2-star diamond coach. You can make $4,000 a week. And then you can open up another business center and so you could just have four diamonds and just be rocking this out. If everything just kept being active. and again, you guys, I'm not telling you this like, oh, this is so easy. It was cake, I work hard. I work really hard, and I'll tell you the hours that I work. So, I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's silly to build past 9-star because of that. If that's a goal of yours, that's great. But the comp plan is just set up so incredible for that. So you guys, I've been doing this for 4 years, building this business from the toilet seat in the mornings, in between lunch breaks when I was working, and little pockets of time that I found here and there. And my seasons of life have been crazy since I started coaching. Every pregnancy I was sick for like the first 21, 22 weeks. I've communicated with my husband. In the beginning, my husband hated everything Beachbody. I didn't talk to him about the opportunity. I jumped in. I didn't know what I was doing. To be honest, I just signed up and I was like, okay, well, this is great. Because one of my girlfriends, because Sarah was doing it, and I was like, well, she can do that. Why can't I do that? But you got to communicate with whoever you live with, your spouse or whatever. So that was bad on me for like the first 6 months. He hated it. But now, like team calls or whatever, he's like, you have a team call in 20 minutes. I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you. So he's super supportive that way now because he sees the potential and what it's done for our family. And he's seen me. I don't know that I'm a better wife or person, but I just feel, I don't know, many of you have had kids and postpartum. Like if you didn't get postpartum, the blues, that you're lying, number one. Number two, like I really enjoy this because I get to watch other women get a piece of themselves back. And it just feels really, I'm going to start crying. It just feels really good. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there. I'm mindful of when I'm on my phone. I don't want my girls to see me on my phone all the time. It drives me crazy. I've had to set boundaries and not check my messages, and all my coaches, my downline, my challengers know that if they have a message, they shoot me a message. I usually don't check it till this time at night because I work so hard so I could be with my kids. I don't want them to see me on my phone all day long. I mean, when they're, eating lunch or whatever, I'll check a message or I'll do an Insta story or something like that. But when I sit down, like this is the time of night that I sit down and I'll work this till like 11 o'clock at night from this. So 9 to 11. I'm just laser focused because I only have so long before I need to go to bed. So I set boundaries for myself. And when I get the chance to sit down, I'm mindful of my work. And I want you to ask yourself, you guys, are you doing activities that are going to move your business forward? Set a timer. As silly as it sounds, you guys, I check in with my challenge group for 5 minutes, and then that timer goes off, and then I move on to something else that I need to do. I don't check in with my coaches on their pages every day. That's a waste of your time. You guys need to not spend time doing that. Do it on a Wednesday night. Go to all your coaches' pages, love up on them in one shot. Go to their pages once a week. Don't go to their pages every single day. And I don't know everything about volume and placement or this business. I just really learn as I go. It just really comes down to looking at where the numbers are and building to where you want your business to go. Another thing that I found helpful is having a partner or a friend to set goals with and recheck in once you've hit them. And like I said, I'm always like, Sarah, should I just shoot for elite? And she always just is like, she's got choice words for me because we've been friends for like 20 years. And I'm like, okay, I just need her to say no, because when I see all these people at leadership and elite, I'm like, I always get butthurt. That's just my thing. So that's really all I got for you. I hope you learned a little from this call tonight. And again, you guys, you don't have to have a huge success story to have great income for yourself or your family. Again, from the beginning, I knew that I wanted to be home with my kids, and I knew that teaching wasn't for me anymore after having Ruby. And I wanted it so bad. So I set a goal and I worked hard and I achieved it. But you guys, you have to have a why. You got to have a why. Otherwise that drive slips away. So that's all I got for you.
We're probably all going to come barking at you. Okay. Thank you so much. It was so refreshing to hear these things. Great for the team to hear these things. I know there was a couple of questions. I love your simple outlook on it. I think I even have a question too. So
I'm a hot mess. I'm a hot mess all the time.
No, I support the hot mess. That's good. I love that you honor your family and your girls, and the no phone in front of your kids thing is so important, and I stand behind that. I'm actually on a mission of like, how can we simplify this business, like back to the old network marketing days before social media made us slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother thing, another call. But what I do want to ask, are you preparing for when you're going to cap out in these business centers? Are you preparing for cap out when you need to rank up again?
Yes. So I'm currently working on, what do I have? My second CBC is sitting at Diamond right now. So I am working on that to be 2-star. And so I'm a 5-star Success Club legend or whatever. And I'm not anything crazy because, and you guys, that stuff doesn't mean anything. But, you know, I'd always say, Sarah, gosh, I could have been a 10-star or whatever. But I was working on, working my spouse's account. So then I wouldn't hit Success Club in my first. I'd be, so don't just learn from me. Don't get butthurt about those things, because in the long run, it doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. So like we have a girl on here who hits really high Success Club numbers. Would you put your, like, let's just say she got to Success Club 10. Would you suggest she put all the rest of the orders through her husband's account?
Yes.
Account, and just, she gets Success Club 10 and then put the rest through him. So he gets the bonuses and then she gets the team volume. And even more so if her second CBC is signed on his weak leg on her weak leg, right? Yeah. Then you would put it through your second CBC. But before you have that second CBC, you kind of have to take that ego, set it aside, put all the orders through your spouse to where you're double dipping. Maybe not on team bonus, but at least on commission, then team bonus for your first.
Yep. So when I didn't have a second CBC, so it was just myself and then Luke's account, every order that wasn't a challenge pack in the beginning, I gave it to him. I threw the share cart, from his account. Everything that wasn't a challenge pack. So if I hit Success Club, say I hit Success Club 6 or whatever, and I was starting to build him, I would always shoot all those other challenge packs over to him. And then if anyone wanted Energize or Daily Sunshine or bars, I always give them his account, because you make commission off of that, but then that volume just trickles and then you just make more money.
That is true. And I do teach the team anything above their own personal volume for 90 PVHD, any additional orders for their household to put through their spouse. But it's a touchy subject to recommend someone limit their Success Club numbers and then to put elite on the side for income. Is a sponsor or a leader of a team, that's hard for me to choose someone's goals, but it is nicer to have someone with experience come and share their heart and their journey, to where someone can make their own decision on how they go for that.
Yeah, it still gets me every day.
It stings a little. Well, I know Sarah may be mad, but I say if you're making the income that you want, I would say shoot for your next goal. Yeah. Personally, I would say that. But yeah. I'm not your sponsor.
I know. Once I get that 1 to 2-star, I'm just going to go back. Because my first CBC is at 3-star right now. But it's just hitting 5-star, all the requirements and the diamonds, certain years don't matter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some questions. I don't want to take up your time because I know we're in your work hours here. Jesse Burr says, how do you teach your team to get to 2-star? My struggle is actually getting my team to rank advance and hold their ranks. I've had over 7 lifetime diamonds, and once they hit it, they kind of go MIA.
So I get on. So September, I do individual Zooms with 4 coaches a month. So after this call tonight, I have a Zoom with one of my girls. Okay. No, it's good. It's good. Okay. But so this is what I do. If they hit Success Club, the prior month, I'll do a one-on-one Zoom with them, and I just go over 4 things. I talk about building, well, obviously what their goal is, but then I have 4 different things here. Let's see, I can kind of pull it up. 4 different things that we chat about, and then I make them pick 2 things. So expanding their network and social media flow, posting with a purpose, they're inviting, and number 4 is following up. So I have them pick 2 things a week and have them work on that. And so if they are expanding their network, if that's one of their 2 things they're working on, I go that night to their Instagram or their Facebook, and I see how many followers that they currently have or have added. And then if they come to me and say, hey Jen, I added 50 or 90 people, I'm like, I screenshot it and I'm like, no you didn't, because I got you. So after they've hit whatever goal, I just reevaluate, and I only spend time, you guys, on people that are going to be on your bus. Like if you got someone on your bus that's been a discount coach, or say they're going to do it and they're just an active, discount coach, just don't waste your time. Find someone else. You don't want them on your bus. So.
Okay. I like that. A question here, just making sure I have my husband's account on my weak leg and he isn't Emerald yet. Would I still put other orders under him once I hit Success Club?
So he is not Emerald yet. I would work on getting him Emerald first, because just a regular coach, is it just 12? I think it's 12 for a cycle. Well, you don't cycle if you're not Emerald, right?
Don't, but even if, because here's where they're confused a little bit. I just read it without reading it. At this point, guys, the husband would only be making commissions. Okay, anything that's happening with coaches underneath him would contribute to the team bonus cycle. And by the way, I've been a coach for 7.5 years. I've always called it a team bonus cycle, not a team cycle bonus, and I don't think I'll ever change that. Anyway, so guys, when you're talking about he isn't Emerald yet, if you still put orders through him, that doesn't matter. He's still making commission, and your main business center is making the team volume off of it.
Like if they have Energize or whatever, sure, yeah. Send them the link for that.
I don't know if they're same here. I've got halfway to Emerald, but I'm understanding the same. Before I even hit Success, no, always get Success Club first in your account.
Yes. Always
get yourself Success Club, but maybe you don't go to Success Club 10. Maybe you start putting orders. Is that the way you would recommend it, Jenna?
Yeah, and you know what, you guys? Sometimes my Success Club is 18, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 6. Like, there's been many months, this crazy season of life, Success Club sits at 6. It's fine. It's fine for me.
So you did say at one point that you put all challenge packs through your first CBC and all other orders through your husband's account?
In the very beginning, when I just had myself and then Luke, if anyone ordered a challenge pack, I would put it in mine. And then if they had any other order, I would always give it to him.
Got it. And then when your second CBC opens up, usually and hopefully underneath your spouse, you would then put all of the orders through that. So husband gets the volume, first CBC gets the volume, your second CBC gets the commission.
Yep. And then, so when you do that, when you hit 2-star and you have a spouse account and you get to open up another CBC, you'll have to talk to corporate, because my first CBC, my placement is my second CBC ID, and then it's the weak leg. So I always give my second CBC share cart to people, but it just trickles up. So when you hit 2-star, you have to put in your, depending on how it's set up, you have to put in your second CBC business ID, and then you have to click save placement.
Yeah.
But again,
we'll talk through all of that when everyone hits 2-star. You know, the main point, and whenever I start talking to my team about this, it's like, at this point, y'all, you need volume on both legs. You know what I'm saying? You guys need volume on both legs. But I love talking strategy like this. And when someone is on the cusp of something, walking them through that. I chose also wealth over rank in the very beginning. And I did find myself capped out and unable to get to the next level because I had heavily stacked my weak leg. because I had a really strong leg. But then you find yourself, you know, oh my gosh, now I have to actually put people over on that strong leg, and it's like a drop in the bucket of all the volume, and it just eats you alive, right? But at that point, you know, you're capping out. So I find people on that leg to put on their weak leg, like my sister is on my strong leg, or my mom, you know what I'm saying? So there's still ways to work through, you know, building for rank once you have your wealth. So I love talking about business, and I love talking about all that strategy. So when people are there, we'll talk. But any other questions? I know we're going to go. Someone said, I don't understand how volume is wasted. Now, I can explain that as far as a cap out, but I'm not sure what you said, because you said wasted volume is wasted money. In what regard were you talking about? Because it kind of is left me.
Capping out.
Capping out. Okay. Yeah. Then I'll explain that in detail. We're going to let Jenne go so she can get on her next Zoom call. Did anyone else have any question before we let this lovely lady go? I appreciate your time. We don't take it for granted.
Yes.
Everyone's just saying, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, thanks, Jenne. Thanks for coming on and doing this. And yeah, isn't she adorable? And her 3 little girls. Oh my gosh.
You're a hero too. 3 and oh my.
I know. Ruby, Ophelia, and Gwendolyn. I can't even.
The names.
Seriously. I know. I can't even stand it. But thank you. It was fun to have you on this call, and it was fun for you and I to get to talk here in the last couple of weeks just about what your strategy was. I love it, and I think a lot of people are kind of excited, and like we talked about, it's so hard. 15 is so huge. It's like so big, like, oh my gosh, how, but 2, it's just taking those little bites, you know, and 2-star is like, it's pretty doable, and then teaching them to do 2-star, and because we are in this to make a difference. And like Jeffrey Burr said, she has had 7 diamonds. It's like, dang, like, why do people leave? Maybe we need to know how to make money, because we need to keep people, in here, and then teach them just how to continue to make more money. So anyways, thanks a ton. Love you, girl.
You're welcome. And you guys, if you take anything away from this, just take 2-star. That's it. And then you can talk to Lindsay and whoever your upline is. That's all you guys got to do. 2-star. And just have fun with it. You got to have fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to let Jenne go, but I'm going to stay on and answer any more volume questions. Jenne, thanks. Have a wonderful night.
You guys.
Thanks, girl. Bye, hon.
Bye. Thank you. You're the best. I'm going to unmute. Well, you can unmute yourselves, I guess. Does anyone have any questions before we go? I wish I'd learned this 5 years ago. Oh, my gosh. Y'all, okay. Bottom line, none of you have screwed up, because I am aware when there's really high volume somewhere, okay? At this point, everyone just needs volume on both sides. I won't let people screw up on this. Don't feel like, oh, now I've messed it up, because you likely haven't. Let me answer some questions, though. Anybody? Melissa, why do you wish that you would have learned it 5 years ago? Because I feel like I can make you feel better. Are you there?
She's muted.
Okay. She may not want to talk. But now that you know.
The only reason I said that was because I haven't really built anything. I'm still sitting at Emerald 5 years later. I've got my husband on one side, my sister on the other, and that's it.
Okay.
And I was just confused by all of the levels and how to build volume and where to put everybody. But this makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Isn't it encouraging?
Mm-hmm.
The way I say it when someone's sitting in a brand new spot, and maybe you do have a weak leg. Remember, a strong leg. That's whatever you share with your sponsoring coach. Not always is it guaranteed to be a strong leg, because, hey, they might not do anything. Or I'm looking at some faces of who I know this exists. The coach that brought you in canceled, and you're on their inside leg, and now you have no upline support. Sometimes you have to find your own way in this business. And let me just give you a name of someone who had to do that. Lindsay Matway, she's top earner in the business. Sometimes not having a handout or a hand up is all the motivation you need to kick butt, right? Okay, so don't ever let placement get you down. I've seen placement tear people, carve them, etch it right out of this business, and they had so much potential. Don't let that get you down, okay? Placement is nothing but where you belong, where you are listed in genealogy. What you create in that place is 1,000% up to you. I've seen people, the very first coach I signed, she had 100,000 volume come in every single week on her strong leg. My weak leg, 100,000 volume. And she quit. So placement means nothing. Nothing. All right. So I love talking about this. Where does volume come from? People. You don't have volume unless you got people. So whenever people are like, I need more volume, you need more people who are going to buy and sell. Okay? Hopefully, the people that you sign on want to do more things and sign on more people. This is all about duplication. But if we did simplify it to everyone that you bring on just helps 3 people each month, and then we teach those people to help 3 people, that creates volume. I can remember thinking, wow, it takes all that just to make $14 a bonus cycle as an emerald, 100 to 200 ratio, or 300 to 300, 150, 150. What is it? 150 to 150. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of volume just to get $14, but it adds up, and it adds up quick. One of my favorite ways, and I've made a lot of volume videos, y'all. So if you are, antsy and wanting to hear more, watch any of my volume trainings on YouTube. But the best way to figure this out, and they have it listed different in the new coup, it used to be called contributing business centers, but now it's like total orders or something like that. But either way, I would look and see in my volume tab, and she said that she used to go daily. I used to go daily many times, and I'd refresh just to see the number go up, okay? Because I was in it to win it, right? I would look, so let's just say I'm looking at my left volume. I click on it, say it's at like 2,000. I click on it. How many people did it take to get 2,000? That's what I was looking for. Because if 50 people got me 2,000 volume over there, I knew 100 would likely get me 4,000. So then I'd go into my team page and I'd be like, look, do you guys know the story of the penny? Penny today, 2 pennies tomorrow, 3 pennies the next, or you double it, right? 4 pennies the next day. By the end of the month, it was something crazy like $2 million or something. You're like, from a penny? How? Doubling pennies? That's us, guys. We're the pennies. We have to duplicate pennies. So then I would challenge everyone. Bring 1 person on this month. And then everybody that brought someone on, those people have to bring someone on. So next month, 3 of you are bringing on 9. And then the next month, 12 of you are bringing on, I don't know the math, but you see what I'm saying. Everyone brings on 1 and you double. You become pennies that turns into millions. Do you have the passion, excitement, and belief in you, in your heart for this business to go out and say, I want to make some pennies. I want to duplicate some pennies. Like, that's all business to my people. Because I'm here to build business people. We have a fantastic product line, guys, that changes lives. And I know a lot of you lead with the health and fitness, which is great. But just like she said, and I'm so glad she said it, because we talk money on this team. You want to find business people that want to do this with you. Can't be scared to offer it. When you have a good delivery of what you are trying to get across to people, and by good delivery, I don't mean the perfect script, because your delivery is going to be different than mine. It's what you are willing to do with this business, what you are claiming to do with this business. That's your delivery. When you have a good reason to build this, and you're telling other people, this is why I'm doing it, and this is what I'm doing, and I want you to do it with me. It doesn't matter what your social media looks like. It doesn't matter what your house looks like, your car, your body. Doesn't matter. I built my 7-figure business in a tiny house with bad pictures in a dirty gym. I did better in those standards than I do here. Grit, guys. belief. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to build a 6-figure business? Keep your hands up if you believe you can. Okay. Who needs to, oh, hold up. There she goes. Okay. Her hands went up. Who has someone that they need to go and proclaim this to? Who? I walk. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Can you do that after this call? I had 2 people in my life that I said, I'm going to build this. I'll tell you what I said at first, $5,000 a week. And I walked out of the back of my house and over this little sidewalk, through a little gate to my mama's little house. And I said, Mom, I'm going to make $5,000 a week in my Beachbody business. And I could see in her eyes the disbelief. She believed in me and wanted it, but it was doubt through and through. And I said, well, I'm going to do it for me, for them in there, and for you. And I walked back through the gate and back down my sidewalk and back into my house. And I sat down much like a desk like this in this 2-foot space, 2-foot wall, 2-foot wall with a little desk that we got from, the side of the road. And I sat at that little desk with sticky notes all around me. I build wealth every day. I work out every day. I create leaders. 3x5 index cards. I still have them all. I create wealth every day, still pinned to the refrigerator that it now sits in my garage. I grew up thinking that if you had a second refrigerator, you were freaking rich. I grew up thinking that. So that refrigerator in my garage that I walk by every day, I did it. I reached my dream. But it was doing stuff like this on calls, which I'm glad we're bringing back, because being here looking at you guys, it helps. I know it does. Being on the calls, being in the trenches, not spending all day on social media, but putting up what I needed to put up and having the conversations I needed to have to make it happen. Do this with me. Carve it out the way you want it to look. You do not have to look like any other person. You don't have to deliver like any other person. You have your own people and your own list. You can get really, really far off your warm market. If cold market reach intimidates the crap out of you to the point where you're paralyzed and you do nothing, please get super bold with your warm market people. If you're already having a lot of fun on social media and what you're doing is working, keep doing it. But if you're paralyzed, not knowing where you fit in, get your people on a call with me. I'll do something just like this for all your people. If you think that anybody would buy what I'm selling, get them on a call with me. My success rate is pretty good. Who's going to go proclaim to a husband, mom, child, whoever tonight? Awesome. When you do that, post in Unified. I'm proclaiming, and that's your baby right there. That's who you're telling. Mommy's doing X, Y, and Z for you. Yes. Okay. Go into Unified and say, I claim this, and I told so-and-so. Or you can even go to your own social, casting that vision, proclaiming your goals. It's one of the major steps in reaching it. Writing it down, verbalizing it, proclaiming it, praying for it. Okay. Yay! What a great call. Love you guys. Let me just check the chat. Make sure there was no volume questions that I went over. Yes, Jessie Burr, leading with the fitness, which you're dang good at, girlie. But I've always said you got to be more business. And you will. That is literally my desk space. That's all it takes. It's the only desk space it takes to build $1 million business. How can we make an appointment for a call with you? Let me think. My acuity scheduler, but I need to go in there and clean it up. And I will do that, and I will post, okay? You guys are awesome. Go out and own it. All right?
Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks, Luana. This call was because of you.
Good.
All right. I love you guys.